What's up, guys? Welcome to gwhisky. My name's Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. That sounds interesting. Hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today, we're looking at the Kilkerran 12. Stick around. Alright, so it's a fun one today. We're doing a re-review of Kilkerran 12. Kilkerran from the Glengyle distillery, which is under the Springbank umbrella in Campbeltown. This is one that I've looked at before. I reviewed it like a year and a half ago, and I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I recently went back and watched my old review of this one, and I gave it 85, which seems a little bit harsh, but I guess I just did not connect with it at the time. But I figured a year and a half later, let's come back to it. Let's see where things are at. It is possible that my opinions changed. I'm a little bit older, I'm a little bit wiser, but beyond all that, I've never been consistent with my opinions, even before the channel. And that's the thing with whiskey reviews. Of course, they are opinions, but they're also moments in time. You know, people change, whiskey changes, life changes. Pretty deep, right? Stay tuned. New channel dropping soon. Anyway, the point is that my opinions often change, and they might have here. And that is called foreshadowing. But yeah, obviously it has been a while since I looked at it. When I last looked at it, we had a bottle that was shaped like this. Now we've changed the bottle shape. It used to come in a sleeve. They've done away with the sleeve, and a lot of people are saying that Kilkerran 12 is actually getting better with time. There is some chatter online about how the stuff we're getting in the newer bottles is a step up. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not going to do the side-by-side because I don't need two Kilkerran 12s open at once. But based off of my older experiences with Kilkerran 12 and my initial reaction to this bottle, there might be some truth to that. Anyway, I'm blabbering. Let's go over the basics. This is a lightly peated whiskey. I believe it comes in at 15 ppm. It's matured in 70% bourbon barrels, 30% sherry barrels, and it's a really big hit. A lot of people seem to really like this whiskey, so let's find out how I feel. Let's jump into our review. And in the meantime, if you could kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. So for our specs, this is a Springbank product, so we know it's going to be good. Boom. So we have a nice natural color there. I do think I prefer the newer bottle shape. I think it looks a little bit better. Our label is basically the same as the old one. It's the sort of like no frills look, which I guess does have a certain charm. It's not my favorite look, but it is the opposite of flashy, which I guess is respectable. We'll give it 3.5 out of 5 for presentation. It does say non-chill filtered and no color added on the back. My Chinese isn't great, but it does seem to talk about how the entire production process takes place on site. There is no mention on here about the cask breakdown, which would be nice to know, but aside from that, pretty much everything we need to know is on the bottle. It looks very craft, and of course that matches the whiskey. I didn't add water. Our nose is juicy and fruity. It's malty. We have stuff like citrus and pears. There's melon, papaya, plums, there's pepper, salt, toffee, ginger, and some faint peat in the back. It's nice. Our palate is full, it's robust, it's oily, it's a spice attack with pepper, oak spice, nutmeg, and then some of that smoke starts coming in. It's a gentle smoke, and I also love how not sweet this is. In fact, it is quite tart. We have citrus, like lemon zest, we have like malt, salt, and vanilla. On the finish, we've got some ginger notes, there's white pepper, there's hints of cola even, there's banana barbecue, there's papaya, there's smoke, and we've got some lingering soft tropical fruits. Medium finish. Yeah, so right out the gate, I'll say that I do like this much more than I did last year. I think it's fantastic. I do think that the whiskey has changed, but truth be told, I've probably changed just as dramatically, if not more. But I really like this bottle, and I think now that Springbank 10 is no longer available or affordable to me, this is probably going to be my new go-to Campbeltown whiskey. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, Jeff, what about Glen Scotia? I like Glen Scotia. I think it's a fantastic whiskey. It's distinctive, but it's not Springbank. And for me, Springbank is Campbeltown. And our Kilkerran here, I think, is a wonderful whiskey. It's not going to replace stuff like your Springbank 10. It's certainly not going to replace your fancier stuff like your 12-year-old here. I know I'm showing off, but it's still wonderful stuff, and it still gives us a hit of that Springbanky-ness. I'm gonna leave that in. I love the saltiness, I love the oiliness, I love the gentle peat, and I love the fruit in here. The fruitiness is surprisingly bright and fresh. And bright and fresh aren't usually words that would apply to like Springbank or Campbeltown. Maybe Hazelburn, but no, we've got like citrus and like lemons and like these bright, fresh tropical fruits. Really good stuff. We've also got that sort of like oily, farmy peat, which I think adds a certain grubbiness to the whiskey. It's not quite as grubby as a Springbank, but we definitely know that we're drinking Campbeltown. We also have the spices and the maltiness, but really, this is a whiskey that I just enjoy viscerally. Like when I was making notes for this video, I realized that I like this whiskey less when I'm breaking it down, analyzing it, pulling out all these notes, and just overthinking everything. The best part about this whiskey is just the character, it's the experience, it's really just the sum of all those parts that make it really good shit. And listen, I know there is like this mystical allure that comes with Springbank and its peers. I used to think that was nonsense. I don't think it's nonsense anymore. There is something about Springbank, Longrow, Hazelburn, or Kilkerran here. They all just ooze a certain craft charm. And that's not to say that they're naturally presented, which they are, but they taste like they were made with care. It's there in the character, the experience, the details. This does not feel like this corporate engineered product. And yeah, I love it. I like this almost as much as I like Springbank 10. In fact, in the right mood, I might still reach for this one first. I'm going to give it the same score. This one gets an 89 from me. And I do realize that is a bit of a 180 for me, but that happened. These things happen, guys. Nothing is set in stone. I would advise you to not dismiss a whiskey forever. Keep an open mind. I can't tell you how many whiskeys there are out there that I like or love now that I'd previously dismissed. So many examples. There was a time I didn't like Oban 14. There was a time I didn't like Port Charlotte 10. There was a time I didn't like Kilchoman Bay. There was even a time that I didn't like Craigellachie 13. And now I can't fall asleep at night without a bottle of it under my pillow. And listen, obviously a lot of bad or lesser whiskeys stay bad or lesser whiskeys, but listen to your friends, listen to the community. If there's enough voices out there telling you that there is something special about this whiskey, maybe come back around to it, give it another go. That's what's happened to me here, and I absolutely love it, so I am going to recommend it to you guys. Thing is, I know Springbank can be pretty hard to find in most places these days. I know Kilkerran is more available, but it still can be a little bit patchy. Hopefully you guys can find a bottle of this and that the price is fair, and if so, I would say pick it up. So in my market, this is more expensive than it used to be. The 12-year-old used to be quite cheap here. And I don't think at the time it was quite as good as it is now, but it was cheaper, so our value was better then. Now our value, not quite as good, but I think the whiskey is a little bit better, so we do have something of a trade-off there. Luckily, even today, it isn't absurdly expensive. It's just a few pounds more than it used to be, and as long as it is still around, as long as I can find it on the shelves, this will be one that I'll be happy to come back to. I think it's worth every penny. Alright, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. That is always appreciated. And of course, I do want to hear from you. Have you tried Kilkerran 12? What are your thoughts? Do you think the newer bottlings are any different from the older ones? Let me know down below. And finally, down below in the comments, you can also let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.